Who's the leader of the pack? Bringing legacy to you. Legacy-C-O-U-B, it's true. Stand up, gear up, join the fight. We're as fierce as we can be. With grit and might, we claim the night. We're the legacy. Legacy Club. Legacy Club. Strong and unbreakable. Warriors with fire inside. In our hearts we're invincible. Legacy Club.
What up, Legacy Club? What up? Hello. Hello and welcome back to the Legacy Club podcast. My name's Justin, a.k.a. The Portuguese Problem. A.K.A. The Menace of Madeira. A.k.a. The Azorian Nightmare. I'm going to commit to that, but you know what I'm not going to commit to? Every day podcasts. That's hard. It's hard. It's hard, and I'm going to offer a diminishing product, and I'm just not going to do it. So we're going to do more like this, more thought out, structured, happier episodes, because when I'm just left to my own devices, who knows where I'm going to go? Who really knows what wild nonsense I'm going to say? And it's just safer if we just do it like this in the confines of an idea. I'm hoping to do 2 podcasts tonight. One that's this, and then one that's more a little freeform. Instead of doing, never mind. I'm not going to explain anything to you. Today we're talking about the Aracuan. The Aracuan Bird. Aracuan. I fell in love with this bird as a youth, and he was like a hidden treasure to me. He was a hidden treasure that I could never find. I think I've mentioned this a number of times. Maybe actually on one of the podcasts, the one where I'm talking about doing these retrospectives that somebody complained about. It's okay. It's okay. I don't take these things personally. I just remember who you are forever. So once upon a time, back in the olden days of cable TV, where before streaming and all of that, there was basic cable, and then you had pay-per-view channels. And those pay-per-view channels, they included, what you got now, the HBOs, the Cinemaxes of the world. What else is there? Showtime? Disney Channel used to be one of those channels. And every now and then, they would be nice. They would be kind to us. The good folks at Disney would be polite and offer up a week of free Disney Channel. And those were some of the highlights of my youth. There were a lot of highlights of my youth. I wasn't all dependent on this, but this was a big deal to me. As growing up like a diehard Disney fan, to have access to the Disney Channel when, normally I didn't have access to it, it was like a to-do for me. It was, nobody talked to me, nobody asked me to go anywhere. I'm sitting in front of the TV from morning till night, from the moment my eyes open in the morning to when they close at night. I'm watching the Disney Channel. And on one of the compilation shows of old Disney cartoons, they took a segment out of, I believe, we're going to find out for sure in a minute. I believe it was definitely either Saludos Amigos or The Three Caballeros. One of the two, because those are package films. They're films comprised of shorter segments to create a whole. And this character is part of that. They chopped his little cartoon out and put him in a Donald Duck block of old Donald Duck cartoons. And I remember seeing it, and I was just like, this is the funniest, most obnoxious thing I've ever encountered, and we're going to get more into that too. But I would go like this bird. This bird has a very distinct song he sings, and from the moment that I first saw it, for a solid 2 weeks, I just ran around my grandparents' house making the same noise. And I'm positive my grandfather didn't even notice, but I'm pretty sure it made my grandmother want to kill me. Among all the other horrible things that inspired her to scowl at me. I love my grandmother. Don't get me wrong, but yeah, I most remember her scowl because that's what I saw most in my direction. But yeah, so I saw the cartoon, saw this character. They mentioned the character's name, but I'm 6, 7 years old. I'm not going to retain that knowledge. But then he just faded into oblivion. He just disappeared, because as time went on, they started showing fewer and fewer of like the old Disney cartoons. And then they definitely didn't show like snippets of the package films. So this character just faded away from me. He always sat in the back of my mind as someone who existed, but I never knew where to find him. I never knew how to look him up. Even in the age of the internet, I never knew what to type in to try to find who this character was because he was so obscure. And it wasn't until recently, not very recently, but in my adulthood, that I was like, I'm just going to start throwing things at Google and see what it throws back at me. And I found him. And you can go watch the watch-alongs for Saludos Amigos and Three Caballeros. It's, on lealegacy.com. It was around that time where I discovered him again. And boy, oh boy, was I so happy. I've never seen any merchandise with this character. I haven't seen him at the parks or anything. So this is definitely one of those lesser known Disney characters. Where did I put all that info? There it is. Sorry, my kids found their way to mess with my setup, and we're okay. We're bouncing back. The AIR-uh-kwan, pronounced AIR-u-kwan, AIR-uh-kwan. The what do they call that? The phonetic pronunciation of him is, his name is capital AIR dash U lowercase UH dash lowercase KWAN. The AIR-uh-kwan. The Aracuan Bird is a wacky South American bird of an undetermined species who appears in the Disney animated feature films The Three Caballeros and Melody Time, so not Saludos Amigos, which is kind of funny because Saludos Amigos was more about South America than The Three Caballeros. Three Caballeros is more about Central America. I find that fascinating. And then Melody Time. I knew he was in 2 films. Didn't anticipate Melody Time being one of them. Melody Time is another one of those package films. Melody Time, I'm not going to say anything. I forget. I think I'm confusing it with Fun and Fancy Free. I can only make sense of so much up there. So his background, the AIR-uh-kwan is an odd species of tropical bird, even described in the film Donald Duck was watching, that first revealed it to him as one of the most eccentric birds ever seen. That got its personalized first name from a song that it sings. It has the power to do the impossible. This includes, but not limited to, simple cartoon antics like reaching out of a film reel image to shake someone's hand. It is aforesaid to exist, seen everywhere, most notably South America. That was weird. It is aforesaid, am I saying that right? To exist, seen everywhere, most notably South America. So in saying that, Do they really mean everywhere? Does he also inhabit the U.S. sometimes? Australia? Russia? Voice. Aracuan Bird has a wacky, high-pitched, sped-up voice done by Goofy's voice actor, Pinto Colvig. I didn't know that. It just says Colvig, but Colvig also provided the Aracuan's distinctive song in The Three Caballeros and Clown of the Jungle. Clown of the Jungle is his cartoon. You know what I mean? In the package film, Clown of the Jungle is his thing. So I'm gonna play it. I'm gonna play what it sounds like. This was my introduction. I guess this was everybody's introduction, but imagine younger me running around making this noise.
Now, he's called the AIR-uh-kwan because of the peculiar song he sings, which sounds something like this. By the way, amigo, did you know some birds are skilled craftsmen?
So that was that. The scream. I forgot about the scream in the beginning. Oh, let's just do it again for posterity, right?
Now, he's called the AIR-uh-kwan
AIR-uh-kwan.
because of the peculiar song he sings.
Ready?
It sounds something like this.
Oh man.
By the way,
Okay.
did you know something?
I ran around my grandparents' house days on end doing that. Not the scream. I don't think I did the scream, but I would just run around. I can't even do it anymore. I used to be more talented when I was younger, but that's what made me fall in love with him. Today, Frank Welker provides his wacky, high-pitched, speedy voice, but without the use of this distinctive Aracuan Bird song. So I guess old Frank doesn't do the scream and the buddy. But knowing that Pinto Colvig did that's pretty cool. In the legend of the Three Caballeros, D. Bradley Baker provides the bird's wacky, high-pitched, speedy voice, even using the distinctive Aracuan bird song, hence making the first time the song is used again in 70 years. That song was so annoying that they laid it to rest for 70 years. Can you blame them? The Aracuan does not speak, but only gives out vocal effects, except for in House of Mouse when he speaks while disgusted as disguised. I'm sorry, dyslexic. Remember that. Let's try that again. The Aracuan does not speak, but only gives out vocal effects, except for in House of Mouse when he speaks while disguised as somebody, but never as himself or in his natural voice. I wonder what that sounded like. His physical appearance, the Aracuan bird is a pink bird with red hair, yellow beak, and red tail feathers. A white shirt with a blue stripe first appeared while wearing a yellow and green striped bathing suit while swimming. Orange legs. He has a woody woodpecker-like facial expression. I guess. Man, some of these comparisons are just I don't really abide by. I don't really think he looks like Woody Woodpecker at all. But, what do I know? Appearances. The Three Caballeros. His first appearance, the Aracuan is contractual in the Aves Raras. Aves Raras. His first appearance, the Aracuan is contractual in the Aves Raras, right? Raras. You tell me how that's pronounced. It's a film Donald receives on his birthday. His clownish nature continues throughout the sequence after his introduction and advanced on when Donald and Jose Carioca are traveling to Bahia on a train. He draws many tracks for the different train cars to follow with a piece of chalk. Classic cartoon antics. Right? It's part of his power set. In Melody Time, appearing in the Blame It on the Samba sequence, the AIR-uh-kwan helps cure Donald and Jose of the blues with some music. Well, that's very nice of him. In Clown of the Jungle, while traveling through the jungle to photograph rare birds, Donald runs afoul of the AIR-uh-kwan, who keeps thwarting his attempts to photograph him and other birds. Seems like something he would do. In Mickey's Mouse Works, in the cartoon Bird-Brained Donald, Donald and Daisy take a trip to the zoo where Donald encounters the Aracuan bird and spends the day trying to take a picture of it for Daisy. In the end, Donald fails. Donald is like obsessed with getting a photo of this guy. He has the film though. He has the movie that he got on his birthday. So we could just take a snippet out of there. I guess that'd be kind of hard. This is before the digital age where you could just screen grab things. Let's see. House of Mouse. The AIR-uh-kwan makes a cameo in the first episode, The Stolen Cartoons, when he was shaking hands with Donald in a fast way. He cameos again in the episode Timon and Pumbaa when he tosses away an anvil following a joke. I didn't know Timon and Pumbaa had their own cartoon in that. That's fun. Aracuan Bird has a starring role in the episode Donald and the Aracuan Bird. Mickey invites the Aracuan Bird to the club to perform. Donald is skeptical about the entire thing. Donald then tries to get rid of the Aracuan Bird, and during his performance, he tries to dart him. Dart him. Like a blow dart, tranquilize. Well, at least he's, doing that. He's not trying to kill him, because that would just be dark. Instead, Donald accidentally darts everyone in the club except the Aracuan Bird and Aurora. Oh, well, that's nice of him. Aurora has had enough sleep to last lifetimes. As the show ends, the Aracuan Bird begins to make his way home, sad that he has to leave until Mickey offers him to stay at the club with them. He is also shown to exist as a master of disguise, often impersonating others using full body suits and flawlessly mimicking their voices. During the episode, the AIR-uh-kwan disguises himself as Jafar, Pluto, Goofy, Donald, and Mickey. Wow, Jafar. That was Pluto, Goofy, Donald, and Mickey, and then Jafar. The AIR-uh-kwan Bird also compels, the Aracuan Bird also compels an emergence in the episode Ask Von Drake during the Ludwig von Drake song. Other than these two episodes, his other appearances in the show are cameos. In Legend of the Three Caballeros, the Aracuan Bird, nicknamed Ari, is a supporting character in the series, serving as a handyman that maintains Clinton Coots advertising or adventuring cabana. Let me do that one again. So in Legend of the Three Caballeros, man, I'm holding back a burp. That's what's happening right now. I can't record an episode without like, I don't know, I'm swallowing air while I speak, I think. It's bad. I gotta do a lot of mouth because my nose is kind of like bashed up. Anyway, so let's try that. Uno mas. In Legend of the Three Caballeros, the Aracuan Bird, nicknamed Ari, is a supporting character in the series, serving as the handyman that maintains Clinton Coots' adventuring cabana. In the pilot episode, Dope Cabana, the character sings its distinctive Aracuan Bird song for the first time since Clown of the Jungle. It frequently sings the song throughout the episode. In video games, let's see, World of Illusion starring Mickey Mouse and Donald Duck, saw-billed birds reassembling the Aracuan birds, saw-billed birds resembling the Aracuan bird appeared in the hedge maze area of the Alice in Wonderland level. When Mickey or Donald flourishes their cape at them, they will cut holes through the floor that leads to other areas. So Donald and Mickey are wearing capes and they flourish. That's what I'm imagining they mean. Flourish their capes at them. The bird will cut holes through the floor. Video games, man. Video games. So they look like the AIR-uh-kwan, but they're not. Really? They have sawbills? That's the only video game. Weird. And then in printed media, there are some Brazilian comics where Dicky Duck is the protagonist, and she is part of a group of teenagers. In this group, AIR-uh-kwan is a quirky teenager named Falejo, roughly Portuguese for happy-go-lucky person. Falio. Maybe that's how you pronounce it. I'm Portuguese, and I can't really even tell you if that's how it's pronounced or not. Dicky Duck. Who are you, Dicky Duck? Well, she's definitely like a teenager. Dicky Duck is the granddaughter of Glitter Goldie, who was left in care of Scrooge McDuck. Okay, so she's part of that Quack Pack crew. Let's see. And that was all for printed media. Then at the Disney parks, in Disneyland, in Mickey's Soundsational Parade, the AIR-uh-kwan was seen as a part of Donald's Fiesta Fantastico unit. Okay. So Mickey's Soundsational Parade, the AIR-uh-kwan was seen as part of Donald's Fiesta Fantastico unit. So is that to say that he was like a costumed character, or is he just like a part of, like, on a float, like an animatronic or something? Donald's Fiesta Fantastico, based on the 1942 and 1944 animated films Saludos Amigos and Three Caballeros, the smaller float features a maraca playing Donald Duck next to his co-stars Jose Carioca and Panchito Pistoles. In addition to the float is the AIR-uh-kwan, with the 3 dancing piñata girls and 2 flamenco dancers bringing up the rear. So that didn't answer anything. That answered nothing. So maybe if we look up, Donald's Fiesta Fantastico, do we have images that we can answer this question with? Okay. Yeah, it looks like he's just a piece of the float sitting on top of it. So he's not a costume character. He is a piece of the float. Okay, that's what I kind of thought. Cool. All right, so here's a little trivia about our AIR-uh-kwan friend. Warren Spector, director of Epic Mickey, has stated the AIR-uh-kwan bird is one of his favorite Disney characters. I'm telling you, man. It's hard not to love this guy. In the music video for the Parachute Express song, Dr. Looney's Remedy, when the musical group seemed to have danced themselves into delusions of several classic Disney movies in a jungle collage, the AIR-uh-kwan seems to exist, or let's see, hold on. I got all confused. Let me try again. In the music video for the Parachute Express song, Dr. Looney's Remedy, when the musical group seemed to have danced themselves into delusions of several classic Disney movies in a jungle collage, the AIR-uh-kwan seems to exist the epitome of the song's title character, as fitting to this bird's personality. Okay, I'll take your word for it. Let's see. There is a real bird called the AIR-uh-kwan, more often called the plain. Wow, what? Chacala? Chachalaca. You tell me how that's pronounced. However, it does not resemble the bird in the cartoon. So the real life AIR-uh-kwan does not look like the Disney AIR-uh-kwan. And there we have it. Feature films, Three Caballeros, Melody Time, and Who Framed Roger Rabbit? It was a deleted scene. Oh, interesting. Shorts, just Clown of the Jungle. Shows, Mickey's Mouse Works, House of Mouse, Legend of the Three Caballeros, and The Wonderful World of Mickey Mouse. He has a cameo in there. The one video game, World of Illusion, starring Mickey Mouse and Donald Duck. Park attractions, Grand Fiesta Tour, starring the Three Caballeros. He has a cameo on that ride. Really? I've ridden that ride a number of times, and I don't know if I recall ever seeing the AIR-uh-kwan. And then Mickey's Sensational Parade. Animators Ward Kimball, Fred Moore, Eric Larson, Hal King, Les Clark, and John Lounsbury. Cool. This says the inspiration is Yo-Yo Dodo from Porky in Wackyland. Woody Woodpecker. I want to know who came first. Did Woody Woodpecker come first or the AIR-uh-kwan? Other names, the Clown of the Jungle. Yep. Beckett in the comics. Stupid Bird. That's one of his nicknames. Stupid Bird. And Little Dude. Oh. His home is Brazil. He has likes. His likes are goofing around, harassing Donald, playing tricks, and attention. Dislikes, rejection. Status, he is an active character. And there we are. There we are. Is there anything else we may have missed? Ooh, too much smacky. My bad. Let's see. The Aracuan Bird, he has a little piece in the Scrooge McDuck Wikia fandom, which seems pretty much a reiteration of what we just gone over. Yeah. The Aracuan Bird also... Ooh, see, there it goes again. The Aracuan Bird, also known as Ari, is a semi-anthropomorphic bird, possibly the only one of his kind. Yeah, I can see that. Description: the Aracuan is a bird who can defy the basic laws of reality at will, seemingly through sheer insanity, turning his wackiest whims into reality. He is apparently named after his strange, fast-paced bird song, the Aracuan, who shifts at random between considering himself an animal or a person, with the world flowing around him. Additionally, has a mischievous slapstick sense of humor and loves to use his absurd abilities to confuse passersby. There we go. Especially if their name is Donald Duck. Decades before he met his favorite target, the Aracuan Bird was discovered living in the jungles of South America by Clinton Coote as he traveled the world researching the original Three Caballeros. Coote briefly, or no, my bad, See, my brain just makes up words. Coot befriended is what the word is. Coot befriended the strange bird and hired him to work as the caretaker of his cabana at the new Quackmore Institute. The AIR-uh-kwan was first encountered by Donald sometime before 1944, when Donald, Jose Carioca, and Panchito Pistoles jointly inherited Coot's cabana. They found that the AIR-uh-kwan, going by the nickname Ari, was the caretaker of the estate and could not be fired due to some legal loophole or other. Ari began to help them on their adventures as the three Caballeros, even managing to open Xandara's book, the mystery of which had puzzled Clinton Coot for years. In 1944, when Donald Duck received a documentary about exotic birds for his birthday, the AIR-uh-kwan somehow hijacked the movie, not only being featured as one of the most interesting birds, but even climbing out of the screen and interrupting other sequences. A few minutes later, the AIR-uh-kwan, now firmly in the quote-unquote real world, interrupted a performance by Jose Carioca, performing his signature song and stealing Jose's cigar. Later still, while Donald and Jose traveled by train to Bahia, the AIR-uh-kwan, still smoking Jose's cigar, used a piece of chalk to draw many train tracks diverging from the original one, somehow causing the train to split into a variety of pieces, each traveling a different track. Years later, in 1947, Donald traveled to South America to photograph birds and stumbled into the part of the jungle inhabited by the Aracuan bird. Overjoyed at the return of his favorite pranking target, Ari soon turned up and thwarted poor Donald's attempts to photograph anything. A year later, in 1948, still considering himself their friend through thick and thin, though they may not see it the same way, the AIR-uh-kwan helped to cure Donald and Jose of the blues by performing a samba while using his powers to conjure several or surreal images. In the 1990s, on a whim, the AIR-uh-kwan decided to go to high school and befriended Dickie Duck and her friends there. Somehow, a few years later, the AIR-uh-kwan had switched back to considering himself wildlife, taking up residence in the Duckburg Zoo, where Donald Duck tried unsuccessfully to photograph him. The AIR-uh-kwan often frequented the House of Mouse and was once invited to perform there. Donald was annoyed by the AIR-uh-kwan all night as the bird continuously disguised himself as house patrons, finally culminating in Donald trying to dart him during his performance. He instead darted everyone else with the exception of Aurora, leaving the AIR-uh-kwan unharmed. After his performance, the AIR-uh-kwan was disappointed at having to leave until Mickey told him he was welcome to stay, much to Donald's chagrin. So yeah, kind of reiterated what we already went over, but with a little more fun detail. Radical. Well, that was fun. Not a whole heck of a lot to him, but enough to really kind of solidify him as a Disney character, a lesser known Disney character, but one that you could maybe one day see again in future Disney productions. Yeah, hopefully I got to bring a little levity to your life, a little levity and joy with our friend the AIR-uh-kwan. I was going to play the song again. We got to do it one more time, right? Like, we have to. Let's just do this one. Sorry for the dead air, but but I don't pay for premium on YouTube, so you got to dodge the ads, you know what I mean? So, one last time. He reminds me of Andy Kaufman. Anyway, thanks for watching. As always, if you don't mind, go check out leallegacy.com and all the other killer contents we have available for you, including countless cartoon commentaries on Disney full feature films. We got watch-alongs for the films. We got retrospectives for some of the films. Go check out, our list of other lesser known characters. And yeah, enjoy yourself. We got new stuff going up every day. Not necessarily podcasts every day, but something somewhere will be going up. So make sure you're following us across all your favorite social media platforms, on the YouTube, on the Rumble, on just pretty much everywhere. Smash that like button, subscribe, hit the notification bell, leave a comment. Do all those things wherever you can on your favorite podcast platforms. We are everywhere, from Apple Podcasts to Spotify, iHeartRadio, Pandora, everywhere in between. Give us a like, give us a subscribe, give us a review. Just, anything and everything helps boost our presence in the ever expanding and elusive algorithm. If you really want to show some support, you can check out our shop tab at leallegacy.com or go straight to the source at Legacy Club Clo. The Clo stands for clothing.com. And it's just legacyclubclo.com. It's not Legacy Club Clo. The Clo stands for clothing.com. That doesn't make sense. Legacyclubclo.com, and pick yourself up something nice. We got a whole Disnerd line featuring designs all inspired by Disney things, and then we got a whole bunch of non-Disney things too, and then we even have our own signature Leal Legacy iconography stuff, like this guy, Lucky Leal. That's who he is. So check him out. Pick yourself up something nice. We sponsor ourselves. We don't have any other advertisers or anything like that, so we do it all in-house, all ourselves. So shop till you drop. Pretty please. At Leal Legacy across all your favorite social media platforms. And voila. With all that being said, I appreciate you, and thanks for being a friend and telling a friend. See ya.